Hi, I'm Fred, and welcome back to the Forever Bedrock Realm. I've got some bad news for you. We need to talk. Because you see, you've been terraforming wrong. And I don't mean that your terraforming is bad or ugly, and I'm sure it's pretty awesome. But the fact of the matter is, if you're not terraforming specifically for how your world is designed and the storyline you've kind of made up in the background, then it doesn't match, and it's not good. So let's talk about how to make things good. Now, there are two basic types of terraforming. One is like a fantastical, more realistic to the real world version, and the other is more like what Minecraft would do. And a lot of us, kind of like to watch videos of people doing the cool stuff, like make it look more like real world. If your base or your world or village or whatever you're terraforming doesn't kind of match up with the real world, then all you're doing is making it stand out. Terrible. So let's look at an example here that Kay's been doing. It fits in well. We see her storyline. We've got a nice village. We've got pathways through. I would classify this as more of a Minecraft style. So I don't know how much work has been put into this, but it looks like it was generated and just, the fields put in on top of it. And it fits in well. These are more Minecraft style things. Okay, well, you're not going to have this really cool windmill just generate in. Although it is kind of the shape of an outpost. These buildings fit into that aesthetic that we're used to seeing in villages, just on a larger scale, a little bit more decoration, a lot more design. In contrast, let's look at Dan and Kay's base build. It's built into the side of a cliff. They've got a lot of customization going on, and yes, this is very much Minecrafty, but if you look closer, aside from the paths and everything else, there's a lot of details going on. This is extra detail work. Different materials, different buttons being used everywhere. Apparently what is this week? Whoops. You saw nothing? Got smokers being used as decorations. And if you go over here, I'm sure I did not break any wheat again by falling off there. No one looked back there. It's fine. And if you take a look at the path from their base all the way over to the trading hall, you can see it kind of picks up that more realistic aesthetic where, there's a lot of different pieces built in. There's a mixture of stairs and slabs and different blocks. This has been terraformed to match in what they're doing with their base. And that brings me to my own base. This is a fairly raw copy of the world. You can see, there's giant mountain here, which is nice, but it's blocking my view. View of what? Not having a flipping mountain right next to where my base is. Little avatar, Fred, you can move that out of the way, please. Ah, much better. Thank you. So if you see what I've done here is I removed that stupid mountain because I hated it. And part of that was trying to make the landscape I left kind of blend in more like it was naturally generated. And there are a lot of tips and tricks that I didn't use that you could to make it look more realistic. I need to go in here and finish doing some bone meal, for instance. Like I said, this isn't one a lot of people focus on. We all like the really neat things that you can do it like very custom. You got the rocks and the different stones and everything. I wanted something that really looked like it could have generated here naturally and just left my one mountain alone. That mountain, I'm debating. It's far away, but it's still in my area. As we're walking around here, I can tell you just by my memory about where that mountain stopped. I think this was about where that mountain hit the ground. You could barely see my base in the background. One of the things about this mountain is that the terrain that was around it isn't very flat to begin with. That's just the nature of Minecraft. So I kind of had different levels to deal with. Back there it was 72, but as I got down to this bottom section of it, you can see it's gotten down to here, 64. And so that's an 8 drop, and you just don't want to do a cliff. Well, if you do want to do a cliff. It's your world. That's kind of the point. The point of this discussion is not how to do it exactly how, I do it or someone else does it, but to make sure that when you're learning all these different tips and tricks and you're listening to different people, you take all that to heart and then do what works best for your world. And I don't think a lot of people do that, and that's kind of the problem I'm pointing out here. Now, in the interest of not dying out here in my nicely terraformed land, let's go check out this finished evil lair. Whoa! I mean this awesome, sedate, modern base. There's nothing evil about this, you can tell. It's just a regular old giant modern tubular base that will eventually have some sort of farmland park thing up here. Okay, as I mentioned in the past, I wanted something that was tall, modern, and based on just circles because circles are easy to draw. Although this is actually a flattened circle, it's more of an oval. This one is a very offset, weird oval shape. These two towers, the glass tower and the one that shoots off the side, they're all circles. So those four were easy. Especially since these two and the one that shoots off, I'll fly around to show you, are all the same diameter. I have no idea what I'm doing with all this space. My main base is still there. It's where my bed and all my crafting stuff is. So as I look around, the lack of mountain, which, by the way, I started long before I had that beacon. The beacon really helped me finish up. And most of the material I got from that mountain, because there's a lot, I just sold to stonemasons in our trading house so I can get some emeralds. I've also sold some to some other forever bedrockers. I've used, obviously, a lot of sand and gravel for this. And, well, quite a bit of portion of dirt went to the finish of the terraforming. In case you're wondering why my entrance is a big fancy terraforming as opposed to everything around it, which except for the path is pretty much just Minecraft. It's because this is manufactured. It's hidden. It's not a natural cave. We faked it so it looks natural. Haven't you ever watched any like spy movies? Yes, I kept one tree. This one tree has not been touched except to put these banners on it since I landed on this base many months ago. I don't know why. I just figured I chopped down a lot of other trees on top of this mountain. I just decided to leave that one in there. Okay, this is my entrance and exit tube, which quite frankly only goes towards my iron farm and my gold and copper farm. But when I'm flying back from those two, it's really convenient. And that's pretty much it. If you have any ideas, let me know. What would you put in these towers if you had built this base? And I would show it to you from above, but it accidentally looks a little naughty because of the elements in there, so we're not going to be doing that. As we pointlessly walk along our gouty causeway, just because it's pretty, that's what things are there for sometimes. I will thank you for watching. Hope you learned a couple of things. Remember, focus your terraforming. This goes with all your designs, inside and out, inside of Minecraft and out, just like with this bridge, this causeway. Sometimes things aren't going to fit, but you need to know why they don't fit. You need to have a reason for them not to fit. If you want to learn more about how art and design should influence your Minecraft, then watch that video on the Goudy Causeway linked here. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch y'all later. I gotta lower my score on this. Okay, not fair. Oopsies.